Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Institution of Engineering and Technology IET on campus and KKWIEER Institute of Engineering, Education and Research NASIC, I warmly welcome you all to webinar 3 of the IET KKWIEER Expo webinar series. The IET KKWIEER Expo is a platform that encourages students to transfer innovative ideas into practical working models and showcase their technical creativity. As part of this journey, we have already conducted two insightful webinars and an exciting pitching competition where participants shared their innovative ideas. Continuing this learning series, today's session focuses on an important aspect of engineering innovation: how to develop and present a winning project. Today's webinar will help participants understand how to choose the right project topic, how to convert ideas into practical working models, and how to present their projects effectively through proper documentation and presentation. These skills are extremely important not only for competitions but also for final year projects and future professional work. It is my privilege to introduce our speaker today for today's session. It is Sir John Yesuraj. He is the retired General Manager R&D at CG Power and Industrial Solutions Limited and brings decades of valuable experience in research, development and innovation in the engineering industry. He has a huge experience in evaluating projects and has been an esteemed jury member for our event, that is IET KKWIEER Expo. We are truly honored to have him with us today to share his knowledge and insights. With this brief introduction, I would now like to invite Mr. Mr. John Yesuraj to deliver his session on how to develop and present a winning project. Sir, the platform is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Let me share my presentation. All are able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So at the end of all your hard work last year, full year, now you are ready to present your project in an expo and hope to get a good award also for that. Now, whether you do a project for your final year requirement or as an engineer, you showcase your talents to the world per se. So you might have developed a good project. Now it's time how we are going to showcase the project to the judges who are going to evaluate and give marks and probably an award also. In this regard, there is a presentation. How you prepare yourself for this presentation to the judges? That's the whole crux of this presentation. Let me go to the next. This is a very famous gentleman who developed the iPhone. I think iPhone changed the world, the way we communicate, the technology it has used, and how it has become the standard, almost standard in the industry. Now there is a story behind this. Now you might think, what has got to do with today's presentation? Whether you develop a product for the public or as a final year student project, you are going to present that project to the common people, or I would say you are going to market your product. Whether you market to the general public, whether you market it to judges, it all the same. Now, we are going to run a small clip of Steve Jobs unveiling the iPhone for the first time to the world. I ask you, all of you, listen to this video clip very carefully. Forget about the video per se. But look carefully what's happening in a speech. That is more important. So let's play that first. Ashita, you can move it to the screen, video.
Sir, please unshare your screen.
Yeah.
To reinvent.
Expand it. Yeah.
And here it is. Today, iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. And here it is. No. So, we're going to reinvent the phone. Now, we're going to start with a revolutionary user interface. Is the result of years of research and development, and of course it's an interplay of hardware and software. Now, why do we need a revolutionary user interface? I mean, here's 4 smartphones, right? Motorola Q, the BlackBerry, Palm Treo, Nokia E62, the usual suspects. And what's wrong with their user interfaces? Well, the problem with them is really sort of in the bottom 40 there. It's this stuff right here. They all have these keyboards that are there whether you need them or not to be there. So how are we going to take this to a mobile device? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen. Now, how are we going to communicate this? We don't want to carry around a mouse, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away and you lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus. So let's not use a stylus. We're going to use the best pointing device in the world. We're going to use a pointing device that we're all born with. We're born with 10 of them. We're going to use our fingers. We're going to touch this with our fingers. And we have invented a new technology called multi-touch, which is phenomenal. It works like magic. You don't need a stylus. It's far more accurate than any touch display that's ever been shipped. It ignores unintended touches. It's super smart. You can do multi-finger gestures on it. And boy, have we patented it. And this is what it looks like. It's got a 3.5-inch screen on it. It's really big. And it's the highest resolution screen we've ever shipped. It's 160 pixels per inch. Highest we've ever shipped. It's gorgeous. And on the front, there's only one button down there. We call it the home button. It takes you home from wherever you are. And that's it. Let's look at the back. On the back, the biggest thing of note is we got a 2-megapixel camera built right in. The other side, and we're back on the front. So let's take a look at the top now. We've got a headset jack, 3.5 millimeter. All your iPod headphones fit right in. We've got a little tray for your SIM card, and we've got one switch for sleep and wake. Just push it to go to sleep, push it to wake up. And we're going to do it again with the iPhone in 2007. And we're very excited about this. And you know,
That's great. Thank you.
The Motorola 870 Fusion just
Yeah, you can close it.
outshines for
You're able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Great. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. iPhone has gone through multiple technology advances. Today, what you see and what he is showing on this screen is way different from what he introduced long back. But what's interesting is how he introduced this product. That's the crux of that particular video which I was sharing. I'll be reverting back to this particular clip in our presentation. So let's move on from here to the next one. Before we make the project successful or the presentation successful, let's understand why many of our presentations fail. There are many things which makes the presentations fail. The first thing is, especially when you present your project to the judges, you are not able to explain the problem first. The judges just could not understand. And you are starting with a very opening, no attention grabbing start. Judges lose interest in the beginning itself. Did you notice in the picture, in the video clip, how he started iPhone? He showed some gadgets which doesn't look like a phone at all. That grabs the attention the very beginning of your presentation. And he has not talked about anything technical. Judges cannot follow your explanation. You are expert of your project. Judges are listening for the first time. So if you start with too much technical jargon, they are going to lose interest. Your eye contact with the judges is very poor. If you are talking to the product which you are showcasing, then the judges are not listening to your project, you are listening to you. So if you are losing your eye contact with the judges lose interest. If your project presentation is in a confusing order, randomly talking, sometime technical, sometime non-technical, sometime the feature, again, it confuses the judges. If your presentation starts and ends in a structured manner, that will grab the attention of the judges, because judges are listening to your project for the first time. You know your project. You started 1 year back. You worked on it. So you know in and out of it. But you are going to explain it to the judges. If you are not doing it in a structured way, they are going to lose interest. Judges have limited time. If you are talking about too long on the features, too long on the theory, too long on the results you achieved, no, that is going to lose their interest at the end of it. If you are not concluding your project presentation, first of all, you didn't start correctly, you didn't grab their attention, and now you are not concluding it properly, again, these judges are going to lose interest. So it is not only your project is good, your product is good, you have done excellent work on that, you achieved good, excellent results, but you are unable to explain it in a proper way with confidence, then you have lost it. This is the few key pitfalls which you will have to avoid. Please, somebody is clicking on that. You try to understand each point. You didn't start well, you didn't end well. In between, you are doing too much of jargon. You are not structured it correctly. You are going to lose interest. Your product may be good, your project may be good, but you are lost it to the judges. Let's look at it from the judge's point of view. The environment. Imagine Expo. We have been attending these expos for many years. About 100 stalls, thousands of students, and the judges are limited. Maybe 3 groups going around. They have to evaluate about 60 to 100 projects with a limited time. Imagine you are going to squeeze your 1 year project in a 5 to 7 minute presentation to make an impression. If you are not able to make a presentation in that limited time to the judges, you are going to lose them. And the very beginning of your presentation, judges form an opinion. If you are not impressed them in the beginning of your project, then the scoring is going to suffer. There are plenty of projects which they have to cover, plenty of different subjects. And imagine the judges also are human beings. Their attention span is quite limited, and they are going one group to another group, running around judging each project. Each project is different, and they are running in time constraints. So be aware of it. You got 5 to 10 minutes, maximum 7 minutes, and you are going to explain in that short time. Now, what judges want, they are not interested in the complexity of your project. They are interested in the clarity of the project. Your ideas, whatever you have developed, it may be complex, but if you are not able to clearly explain in simple terms, they are not going to get the juice of your project. If the project lacks clarity, it risks being overlooked. The judges don't get the real real strength of your project and its potential technical depth, how much you have worked on it. If you are not able to explain in that 5 to 7 minutes, you are going to lose your marks. Imagine, this is from the perspective of the judges. You have got many projects to explain, or the environment is too big for the judges to run around, and they have a limited time, and their attention span is small. So your presentations to the judges should be crisp, in depth, with clarity, but explained in simple terms so that they get the idea of your project and the hard work you have put in and the effect of your project to the industry or the environment. This is from looking from the judge's perspective. Now, look at it. How are they are going to evaluate your project? Judges evaluate not only your project, but also how well you understood and how well you are explaining it. We have seen the judges have limited time, so they're looking at your project. If you are not able to clarify your project to begin with, what is the problem you are trying to solve with this project? If that is not explained in the very beginning itself, the project presentation loses its charm. You have to explain what is the problem this project trying to solve. You have to explain in crisp manner. Secondly, they are going to look at it how creative it is. Is the idea is original or copied, or if the project has any new thinking into it, whether it is a model which everybody knows, it's already there in the in the market, you just made another proto of it. No, it doesn't charm them, so you are going to lose mark in that. Third, your model demonstration. Now assume you explained the problem correctly and it has got beautiful new thinking into that. Now the model doesn't work. You have done all your efforts, but just in that particular instant, the model doesn't work the way it was intended to. So, if the presentation time, during the presentation time, if the model doesn't work the way it was intended, then you are going to lose mark in that. Not only that, are you able to clearly demonstrate what you have designed, what you have made, how it is working? Does it work the way you intended in the beginning? And are you able to link the working model to the problem it is solving? If that structure is missing, they are going to lose the connection and you are going to lose mark in that. Fourth, explanation and communication. Are you able to explain your project confidently and clearly and very uh, simple words, right? If you are not able to do it, because they are looking at the project for the first time, and in that first time, if you are not able to clearly explain your project confidently, then you have lost them. So your marks is going to suffer. Fifth, every engineer's project has got a practical application. Is your project useful in the real life? Does it solve a meaningful problem for the common man? If your project is not useful, then it becomes a student project. Now, this project, what you have developed, is at the fag end of your, uh, what I would say, your curriculum. Means you are a budding engineer now. You are almost an engineer. Now, engineers don't do project for the fun. They develop projects for real life application. So when you showcase your project, please keep in mind, does it have any real life value? If does not it if it doesn't solve a problem, engineers solve the problem. That is the whole idea of engineering. Engineers pick up a problem, enhance it, refine the already existing solution, or create a new solution. If that does not happen, then again you are going to lose the mark. Judges are going to ask questions. It can be a technical question. It may be a question to clarify because they could not understand what you are talking, or it could be a question which trying to probe whether you have understood the project correctly. Judges have understood the project correctly quickly, but they want to probe whether you have just mugged up something and trying to explain, or have you really understood the theory behind it, or the concept behind it, or the solution behind it. They are going to probe questions, and the questions are going to be random because all the three, roughly, generally, three judges are there in a stall. So each one is going to fire questions. If you are not able to answer confidently, that means it's going to create a kind of a doubt in the judge's mind. Generally, we have observed your project group is 5, 6 people. So try to say who is going to answer which question, because many times we have seen all three guys jump in to answer that question. Okay, this confuses more. So if a question is asked, try to understand the question. If your question is not understood by you, ask them to rephrase. If the questions are not answered correctly, they are going to give a they are going to have a small doubt on this. So watch out for that when you are answering questions. And finally, your presentation skills. Okay, it's possible not all the 5, 6 students are in a stall are not good in presentation. That doesn't matter. But if your body language, your voice, and the way you explain, if it is impressive, that scores a little bit. So there are 2 points in this slide. Judges not only evaluate your project, they also evaluate how well you understood your project and how well you explain it to the judges. So all the three put together gives the final scoring. So when you are presenting, watch out for all this. Try to explain as much as possible clearly. Explain the concept, explain the innovation, and your model should be running at that particular time. Your explanation to be good, and try to give an explanation how it solves the real world problem. So you have seen the judges issue, the time constraint, and how they are going to evaluate your project. Now, this is the most interesting slide, I would say. All the work which you have done in one full year, you have got 7 minutes to make or break. This is the very important point which you have to keep in your mind. If you are not able to do it in just 7 minutes, your project may be the best, but still it does not win an award. So what to do with that one? Let's look at how we are going to present your project in that 7 minutes. Okay. Now there are 5 steps we can follow it. One is hook. Second is a problem. The third one is execution and the validation and the final impact. Roughly, the time required for each. Imagine the times are written in 1 or 2 minutes. You are going to compress the whatever slides we have seen earlier. You are going to do it in 7 minutes. In each section is just 1 or 2 minutes. If you are not able to do it in that particular time, then they are going to move from your stall to another stall and you have lost your game. So let's see what's meant by hook. Somebody is using a mouse on my screen. I'm seeing some red. I don't know who is. Hello? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Somebody is scratching on the screen. Mouse scratch. You see the red line?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Okay, fine.
Just a minute, sir. I'll just block everyone.
Yeah. Okay. What is meant by hook? Any presentation, if the listener is not hooked, is not you have not grabbed his attention in the first 30 seconds, you have lost him. That is the general rule of any presentation, whether it's a corporate presentation or a project presentation or a presentation to anybody. The first 30 seconds grabs the attention. If you are not able to do it, the rest of the 7 minutes is a waste. The reason, an immediate attention grabber can evoke curiosity and interest. Now let's go back to the Steve Jobs presentation. What did he say? iPhone, and he showed some, I don't know, it looked like a matchbox type gadget. It has created curiosity. Imagine, he is doing it in just 30 seconds. And secondly, he's saying, I am not going to use keypad. Just make the curiosity jumped up, right? Everybody is looking how it is possible. Now you have grabbed their attention. Oh, somebody is scratching the screen. It is much more now.
Just a minute, sir. Actually, the option is with Munjay, sir. So I'll ask him to do it.
I have to share that screen once again.
No, sir. You just have to block the people from scratching the whiteboard, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, somebody is scratching.
okay. Ashwath,
Yeah.
can you come here?
Okay. Meantime, I'll continue.
Yeah,
Right. So, did you notice that in this particular aspect in that Steve Jobs presentation, he just grabbed thousands of people are sitting, and in 30 seconds, he grabbed everybody's attention. He is showcasing a new product, a mobile. In the first 30 seconds, he says, this particular gadget does not have a keypad. That's it. Everybody is now hooked. That's the meaning of hook. If you are not able to do it in the first 30 seconds, that project is already lost its track. So what do we do about it? Okay, you are not Steve Jobs. You don't have a mobile presentation. Let's see how you can start. Okay, you can start with the shocking statistics. Okay, how? Uh, you just start. Number of deaths in a road accident in India. I'm just giving an example. Every year, 2,000 road accidents and 2,000 people or 3,000 people died. Okay, that grabs the attention. You are giving a statistics, and now they are looking at seriously. The judges are looking at seriously. Okay, so what? Okay, then you ask a thought-provoking question. Do you know it's not the brake failure? Okay, that's more interesting. You are saying so many people died, and you are saying that it's not a brake failure. Okay, you have created much more curiosity. Now you state the problem. We need advanced system which can alert. Okay, so you are saying that there are plenty of road accidents and it's not the brake failure, and you are saying there is a system which can avoid that kind of a death on the road. Then you introduce your solution quickly without too much details. Did you imagine you are now giving a solution without telling too much details in simple words? That's what Steve Jobs did. He said, I am going to use my finger as a keyboard. That's it. So he hooked the entire audience in just the beginning of his presentation. So if at all you are going to take away something from this presentation, this is the most crucial slide in your presentation to the judges. Practice, practice, practice. Find out what is so good about your your project, and how can you grab the attention of the judges in the beginning of your presentation. Try to find the statement, try to find how you can hook the judges from the project, what is the uniqueness of your project, how it differs from the currently available model, and how you are trying to solve a problem in simple statements, in maybe 5 6 statements, because you got 1 minute to do this. Once you have hooked the judges, now they are keen to listen to you what we are going to say, because you have said, I have developed a solution, but you are not given the details. So now they are attentively watching what you have done. Now it has got next three slides say how you are going to explain your project. So far, you have seen what you should not do, how judges are in a constrained environment. Now you also hook them. Now is the core of your project. Now the core of your project is got many steps, but in this slide we are seeing 3 steps. The first one is the problem what you are trying to solve, and in the context in which the problem it is getting solved. And the third one is what is the technical basis in solving that problem, right? Again, this also has got only 2 minutes. You have to do the entire exercise in 2 minutes, right? The starting could be how you develop that idea, how the idea got generated, where you got the idea, from where you got inspired to do this project. Because it could be you might have got it from the research, you may got it from your environment, or somebody said it, or you are trying to understand the technology and trying to enhance it. And the third part of it, you are okay, you have picked up a problem, you have understood the problem, you are thinking how this problem can be solved. Now you have to go to find out how technically this problem can be solved. Designing how the project will solve the problem and preparing the flowchart, how you are going to step by step do this project, right? This is the foundation of your project, right? The judges are interested in majorly in this slide 3 points. One, where did you get this idea? Second, is the idea you got it from yourself or from the experts or the people who were interested in getting a solution for their problem? And third one is how you are planned to solve this problem. So the foundation of your project is 3 steps. And the next comes how you have executed project, right? Once you have started with the idea and the framework, now you are going to explain how you went about doing this project. The first step in doing a project is a system design. Explain how the components of the system was planned and selected, right? Your project is not one particular setup. It has got multiple systems in as a one project. Okay, the system could be one part of the system could be the software, one part of the system could be hardware, one part of the system could be something mechanical, right? So you have segmented the system, you have designed the system. That has to be explained how you went about doing that. And secondly, how you assembled the product, and how you did the testing of this product. Explain crisply in few sentences, which the judges could grab fast. Because judges are experienced people, so you don't explain elaborately, because even a simple few lines they will be able to get what you are trying to how you achieve this prototype. When you are explaining the prototype, you also explain the prototypes. That's why it's called prototype. It doesn't work right for the first time. So it goes, you develop some model, test it. It doesn't work the way you want it. Again, you modify it, test it. You find some errors, modify it, and you kept on improving. So instead of saying to the judges, the final objective you achieved, explain the process, because they are interested whether you are deeply involved in this project. They appreciate you have made some mistakes and you have corrected it. That gives much more value, because final product is still okay, but the process is very important. And finally, you demonstrate the complete project and explain whether it has achieved the targets. So in this second part of that your project presentation, you are saying how first you conceptualize the project. Now we are executed the project. Now the third part, the project, did it work the way you wanted? Did it achieve its targets? Did it achieve the results what you have planned? You started with a problem. Did the final prototype achieve? Did it solve the problem you started with? Right? So the three parts: your results, and the second part is how it is applied to the real world, and third part is how your project can be moved forward in future. Right? This is the kind of a closure of your the physical model. You can say my project achieved 30% increase. I'm giving an example, and it has exceeded the expectation of the targets what we achieved. You have to show him the results. Okay, it just saying verbally is not going to work, because they are going to ask you, how do I know it? So you will have to prove your test results. So keep handy. What was the target? Because just result is not sufficient. You have to have a target in the beginning of your project. And if you have said, this is my target and this is what achieved, it could be as close to the target or exceed the target, doesn't matter. But if you are able to show that result, that they appreciate more. Second, how the technology, whatever you have conceived, whatever you have used, successfully deployed, and how it has a relevance in the current world. If we have to take in the current scenario in the world, AI is used literally everywhere. Okay, so even an existing product, AI is coming into it. That is the enhancement of the existing product. So that AI is the technology, how it is deployed in this project. I'm just giving an example of it. So you will have to tell him what is the application of your project in the real world. And finally, okay, student project is student project. We appreciate it. It is, you cannot take a student project and put it in the market and expect it is going to be giving 1,000 crore what else, the business. No, we appreciate that. But if your project has got a potential to become a good sellable product, please explain that. If explain that, plus whether it has got a potential to become a startup idea. Okay, this the final scope of your project, which is not ending now, it is moved forward to the future, as makes it is a very big impact in judges' mind. Okay, let me condense all this in 3 slides. The problem which you have conceived, or the idea you have conceived to solve a problem, how you went about doing it, and how what results you achieved, and what is going to be the future of this project. If you can do this in just 2 minutes, this is the biggest problem. We have talked about 15 minutes of it, but you are going to compress it in 2 minutes. That's the whole mm, game plan. If you can do that, then you grab the attention of the judges, you impress them, you are given the clarity, and you explained it nicely. If that is the case, let me come to the last slide. Again, somebody else. Okay, fine. That is the key takeaway from this presentation. Points which you keep remembering. Winning presentation, key takeaways from today's presentation. Your presentation to the judges should start with a strong opening hook, a question, surprising fact, a real world problem. It grabs attention. 30 seconds. Your solution, clear problem statement. Judges quickly understand what the problem your project is trying to solve. Your explanation should have a logical flow. Problem, idea, technical explanation, working model, and the impact. The flow should be smooth. You got 2 minutes for that. Use simple and clear language, easy for judges to understand. Don't bring in too many jargons. Your body language, confident explanation of the model. Demonstrate your project with that kind of confidence. Keep a good eye contact and body language, which shows that you were involved seriously into the project, and you physically touched the project and you know how the project was done, how it works. That shows you have done it. If you can have some visual explanation charts, graphs, which will enhance your presentation to the judges to understand your model, keep it handy. Team coordination, 5, 6 students together. Who will do what? Who will start the presentation You can structure your entire 7 minutes into 5 parts. This one first person will say this, second person will say this, third one will say this, final one will conclude. If you can quickly tuck, 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 if you do, it makes serious impression on the judge's mind. Good answers to the question. If you have not understood the question, please ask. Can you rephrase your question? If you don't have an answer, say sincerely, I don't have an answer. Don't try to go run, move around the bush. They immediately understand you are not clear about this project. So, if you know the answer, confidently say the answer. If you don't know the answer, say confidently, no, I don't have that answer, or I'll think about it. That helps. And doing all this, go back and conclude your project. Entire flow has to have a conclusion. Just like that, don't look at the judges. Okay, ho gaya. No, that doesn't cut the ice. You conclude, explain the project in how useful to the humanity, how important is uh, in solving a problem. If you can start with a hook and end with a conclusion, you are going to be a winner. That concludes my presentation. And I wish you all the best, all of you. So this presentation will be available with Munjia Saab. You can have a relook at it and go back to on your internet, go back to Steve Jobs' presentation and observe what he did in that 5 minutes. That presentation, entire video is 11 minutes. What we have shown is 5 minutes. It has got all the ingredients of what we talked, right? So let me conclude here. And if we have any question, we can take it now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for it. Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and informative session. Before
Yeah.
we begin with the question and answer session, there will be a feedback form link shared in the chat box. Do fill it compulsorily in order to receive your e-certificates. Also, enter your details correctly without any mistakes. This is for all the participants participating in this workshop. We will now move to the question and answer session. Participants who have questions can post them in the chat section, and we will take a few of them for discussion.
Since there's no question, one key takeaway from this presentation is I would say that 7 minutes is the most crucial part. You will have to practice. You will have to practice, practice, practice. If you can do it, then you are going to get something. If you are going to run around beating the bush, then you are lost a good project. So please go through the slides when you get it and practice each step and make it crisp. Then you are going to get good marks. That's my understanding.
Is anyone having any questions? They can put it in the chat box.
Yeah, somebody's asking. Yeah, please go ahead.
You can read one feedback.
Yes, sir. It is from Abhisha, the workshop on project development. Acha, okay. That is the feedback. The workshop on project development was very useful and informative. I learned new ideas about how to develop projects. The session was clear and helpful for improving my skills. Thank you, sir, for organizing this workshop. If anyone has any questions for their final year projects, we'll just take 2 to 3 of them.
Fine. I think we may conclude now.
In
Okay.
short, In short, sir, you should make a presentation in a such a way that there should not be questions at the end.
Uh,
Okay, so I will
this-
just be sharing this feedback link.
yeah,
Everyone just fill out it. And then moving forward to the conclusion. Before we conclude, I would like to.
I just there's one statement I'm enjoying it.
Oh,
Should we
okay, sir.
start working on a project idea from the first year itself, or uh, just a minute, we'll move forward. Should we start? Uh, should we first clear our fundamental? Okay, it's the interesting question. Should we start the project on the first year? Yes, because the project starts with an idea. Idea can start even at the 10th standard. Your the working model can happen in the final year. The idea generation, concept development can start in the very first year. As we move in first year, second year, third year, you start thinking about how you will solve this problem. Then you run around and find which technology can solve your problem. Then you can focus your attention on that. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible.
So there's one more question.
Yeah.
What are the most important factors judges look for when selecting a winning project?
Aha. Okay. Okay. If I have to give just 3 points, is your okay? I will look at it reverse way because we have done this exercise many expos. So what we look at it, does it solve a real world problem? That takes the highest mark. If it solves a really a good real world problem and it solves, you get the highest mark. That's point number one. Point number two, judges also quickly grab whether you have attempted to solve the problem or you copied this project. They can easily guess. And third one is the working model which you demonstrate. These are the three critical aspects which can get good marks.
So there's one more question.
Yeah.
During presentation, what if our answer is wrong and we realize it after speaking? Should we clear it at the time?
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I think that should be the answer is this. It doesn't make much deal. I mean, they really appreciate if you accept your mistake.
And so one more. What is the overall weightage given to presentation in terms of percentage?
I think Munjes up, you will be able to get an answer for that. I don't have that segregation, but I would put it this way. Mm, your okay, the style of presentation doesn't make much uh, percentage, but the clarity of presentation makes a lot of weightage because if you have let me give a very interesting what I would say learning which I had in my start of my career 30 years back. Okay, it's still valid for any presentation. My boss, who was vice president that time,
Okay.
he told in a meeting, if you can explain a concept, if you can explain a concept, engineering concept, to your 10-year-old kid, and if that 10-year-old kid could understand, it means you have understood. It's a very loaded statement. If you can explain engineering theory to a 10-year-old boy or girl, and if they understood it, it means you have understood it. So, does it answer your question? Think about that statement, what I made.
So I guess with your answer, it is very clear for that question. And so there's a question from a professor, I guess. What
Yes.
do what I do is tell students don't focus on idea. Ideas are many. but we should focus on what problem we can understand. Solutions are many. We have to optimize based on resources, never make project for funding in mind.
Correct. That's correct. Correct. Because you are doing a student project. It's not a corporate or a company project where from the very beginning it goes for the how the company is going to sell that product. But here, the student project is slightly different level. You are trying to showcase your talent, your knowledge through a project, and at the same time you're trying to solve a problem, a real world problem. So the final product may not look like a product which you can take it out and sell it tomorrow, but the idea can be moved forward to the future. That makes a lot of difference.
So now we will take one last question and then we'll end the session. Uh, can beginners build simple AI-based projects without deep knowledge of machine learning?
Mm, I don't know. I have no answer for it because I am not expert in AI. I am a user of AI, but not. I don't know much idea on that. Munjes up?
Sir, nowadays AI tools are available and students extensively use those AI tools for the projects. But I suggest before using those tools, they should actually understand what is the theory behind that or what is the concept behind that, how those tools are developed. Maybe they can use it later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before we conclude, I would like to share an important update with all the participants. Registrations for screening round of the grand finale of the IET KKWAG Expo Working Model Contest are still open. So, if you have any innovative idea or a working model, this is a great opportunity to present it and be a part of the grand finale of the IET KKWAG Expo. With this, we come to the end of today's session. On behalf of the organizing team, I would like to express a sincere gratitude to Mr. John Yesuraj for sharing his valuable knowledge and guiding students on how to develop and present impactful projects. I would also like to thank all the participants for joining us today and making this webinar successful. We hope to see many of you participate in the IET KKWAG Expo Grand Finale. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
In
so much,
spite
sir.
of your busy schedule, you have given time for this presentation. So thank you very much.
Right, sir. I'm just sharing that presentation so you can share it with the students.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Good
Thank you,
night.
sir.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.